Day afternoon for us, Sunday morning, whatever. Little canter down Junk Journal way. Right, I've got several things to show you today, not least the green tag. But we'll get on to that later. I wanted to just show you this. I put a picture of it in the group yesterday, and I can't remember how I said it, but meaning sort of guess what it's going to be. And of course, you know, it's patently obvious it's going to be a tag book. The thing is that you didn't know what sort of tag book. And it's going to be a tag book. Do you remember me telling you last week that Keong had come up with this idea that I should do a tag every month relating to what I'd been doing that month? Because sometimes I do just paper, sometimes I do grungy, sometimes, like this month that's just passed, I do, or passing should I say, I do fabric. And so I did a fabric tag, and it's lovely and puffy, and I just like it. And I think it's fairly in keeping with pretty much what I've been doing for the month. So, you know, when I look back, when it comes to December, and I look back on this, I think, oh yeah, that was that dalliance I had with Tim Holtz fabric. Or I might be using this for the whole year, in which case I'll look back on it and think, whoo, I've come a long way in a year. Either way, I quite like the idea of documenting the progress throughout the year. So that's number 1, January 2022, and thanks to Keong for a really good idea. So that's that. I just put January 22 down on the bottom there, so I would be able to remind myself. And I've done 11 more of these for the subsequent month coming up. So there we have him. He needs a cover, I think. I think without a cover, he's just going to get knocked around from pillar to post and he's going to get damaged. So at some stage, I'll have to do a cover for the journal. Anyway, that's that. Right, moving on to today's tag. The prompt that I gave you. The reason that I'm doing this is that quite a few people had contacted me and said, oh, my mojo's gone. I can't get back into it since Christmas. And, you know, some people weren't feeling their best. Some people had sickness and illness in the family and just couldn't find the impetus to get up and do something. So I thought, I know, a tag. A tag's a really simple, yeah, it's discreet, isn't it? You just do the tag, you don't need to do any more. But for that little while you're doing it, you might just kickstart your mojo. You might just forget your troubles. I don't know, it just seemed like a good thing to do to me anyway. So I put it on the group and we have been inundated with green tags. I can't thank you all enough. Every time I go on my phone, it's like 34 messages on Facebook and stuff like that. It's never been so busy. So I'm delighted that you've all taken this to heart. And what I aim to do is, I think I gave you this prompt on Thursday, so this is a bit of a short week. But every Sunday I will do my tag in whatever the prompt is that I've given you. And then at the end, I'll give you the prompt for next week. I'll also put it in the group for those who don't watch the YouTube doodles. So this is my tag. I made him this morning, and there's bits of him I like, bits that I want to change. Kind of mistake, well, not mistakes I've made. Well, yeah, mistakes I've made, I suppose. Things that I want to change anyway. But I do quite like him. He's this little Tim Holtz peep, and he's so cute. And he's sat on this oval with these flowers around him. And this paper was cream, and I've just stamped over it with green. But the problem is, you can't see this oval that he's sat on. He looks a bit like he's floating in thin air. So that needs addressed. I wish I'd put the numbers on in black and maybe slightly further down, and then I would be able to get some ribbons, lace, etc. in the top. The bottom I quite like. I'm all right with that. The flowers, I used my ultra thick embossing powder, and I did them embossed them, heat embossed them, and then dipped it in the embossing powder again, and to be honest, it's too much. I could hardly get them to stick down, particularly this one that's over the top of that. This one I'd learnt my lesson by then, and I just did it once. So yeah, I've learnt that as well. What else? I think that's about it. I think that's my only problems. But they're problems I can rectify on this one that I'm about to do now, and hopefully he'll turn out a little bit better. And I've put him on rings as well, because obviously I'm obviously in a tag book mode at the moment. So that's the back of him. And let's get the one out that I'm going to do now. Now, I mean, if we carry this on for a year, and there's no reason why we can't, then I will have 52 of these, which is going to be a bit monstrous, isn't it? And I mean, if I do one every Sunday morning to iron out the crinkles, then I'm going to have 104 of them. Oh dear, I don't know what to do about that. But anyway, we'll carry on regardless. Right. Roll call.
Roll call. Roz.
Hiya, Roz. Hi, Jim.
King Young.
Hiya, King Young.
Judy.
Hi, Judy.
Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Terry.
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 Hiya, Terry.
Janya.
Hello, Janya.
Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Gonnie.
Hi, Gonnie.
Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Sharon.
Sorry.
Sharon.
Hello, Sharon.
Jan.
Hi, Jan.
Tamira.
Hi, Tamara.
Violet.
Hello, Violet.
JJ.
Hi, JJ.
Carrie.
Hiya, Carrie.
Tommy.
Hi, Tommy.
Shaz.
Hello, Shaz.
Wittiza Vale.
Sorry.
Wittiza Vale.
Oh, Wittiza Vale. I'm not seeing
I
the
mean
name.
not to pronounce that right,
I know,
course.
I'm just trying to see where it is so I can see maybe how to pronounce it, but I'm going to end up...
Witisa.
Wittiza, I guess. Perhaps if that is not how you pronounce your name, and I'm very sorry if it isn't, I know how annoying it is, could you just sort of sound it out for us, please? Sorry. And... anyone else?
That's it, I think, unless I've
Well,
missed you,
there's
shout out.
Bernice there, I
Oh,
can see. So
Bernice.
hi, Bernice. And it's really nice. It's nice that Tommy can join us because she's been ill of late. It's really nice that Carrie can join us because very often she's away at the weekend. So thanks, Carrie, for joining us. And thank you to everybody. Hi, Julie. That's nice of you to join. And everybody that I know that watches... but not as it's going out live, because not everybody's got this time to spend, and so they watch it when they can. And I was going to say Julie was one of those, but she's popped up now, so Julie. But I know that there are quite a few who watch it after the event. Right,
Mike's there.
I am
doing breakfast again.
Oh, Mike. Oh, Dixie. Hiya. Breakfast again. Right, so let's see what we need to do. Right, this is the bit that it's going to get stuck to. Okay, so that's just the bit that goes in the file. What I really need first is a piece of... oh, come on, I thought it was organised here. Not organised at all. A piece of paper. This is ridiculous, falling at the first hurdle.
What sort of paper?
It's out that pad. I must have got it. Oh, this is irritating, isn't it? So I'm back to the heirloom pack. And I know I was so sure I'd laid this out, but I haven't, obviously, so not to worry. And it's a cream one that I'm after. Maybe that one, I don't know. Let's try further back. It's probably not going to be left in the book because I've probably already had it. That's a possibility. That's the fella. And that will do nicely. So I know a lot of you have these heirloom packs. So what we need to do is to cut the tag out. So I have my tag here, not including the edge piece that goes onto the rings, is 4 1/4 by 8, and it's that size because that's a TN size, a traveller's notebook size. It doesn't have to be. You can make it much smaller if you want to. I just kind of like this size actually. So I'm not going to cover the bit that is where it binds into the book. I just want the actual tag. So I could use my cutter, but I'm just going to draw around it and cut it out. That seems to be a good way forward, so I'm just putting it on there. So even if you haven't got a trimmer, this is perfect. So as I say, the tag is 8 inches high, 4 1/4, and then that bit, which is 3/4 of an inch times 2. But I'm sure you know how to do that. Oh, why am I drawing across there? I've gone loopy. I've gone loopy. Loopier than normal. Let's put it that way, might be a better help, do you think? Right. Right, so that's my tag. My tag-shaped tag. So let's just cut that out. This is what you get when you get organised. Suddenly you're not, and then it throws you into a flummox. Flummox is a good word. I don't know if it's a Geordieism or a general English word, but it means like a tiz was. I don't know if that's any more helpful. Throws you into a tizzy. So it probably would have been quicker to cut this out on my board, but I'd have to use the 12 by 12 one, and it's massive. This might take a little while today because I'm doing every single step. I could have done some of the steps, but I thought no, I'd save them all to do with you guys. So there we have it. There's the bit that's going to be stuck onto there. Okay, so it's on this bit that we're doing all the work, if you like. So the first thing I'm going to do is ink around it. I'm going to use Vintage Photo. I'm not going to ink on there. Just get one of my inking boards. And I'm using one of these brushes. They're gorgeous. You get a much better blend, I think, with these brushes than you do with the felt pads. So just come in from the edge gradually. Do the edge first. Oh, you do get that though. And then just creep more into the centre. Oh dear. And then once you've gone round once, if it doesn't look dark enough, you can go round again. I think Vintage Photo's dark enough for this. You know, to be honest, Vintage Photo's quite orangey. I mean, I didn't think that when I first started junk journaling. When I first started junk journaling, Vintage Photo was so dark. And I never used it. I used tea dye all the time. Really sort of delicate colour. I think that's perhaps enough. Maybe a little bit more down there. There we go. Yeah, happy with that. That's fine. Next thing to do is stamp it. We are going to stamp it all over. And you see on here that I stamped it with my illegible text. But I think that might be too much. I'm not sure actually. I do quite like it. Yeah, let's just go with that. Let's go with what you know. So, I'm not putting it on a block or anything. I'm just going to use it by hand, as it were. So I'm inking this up with VersaFine Shady Lane, which is a nice kind of olive green colour. One of my favourites, as you know. And just go for it. Kind of want it to be straight. Press that down. Yeah, that's fine. Because this isn't, you're never going to see the back of this. It doesn't really matter if it gets ink on it or not. I've got a smudge down here. That's just me. Fairly typically me. And then this, which I'd quite like to be straight as well. Oh, looks like it might be on the wonk a bit. Oh no. No, look at that, that's fine. Right, let's just stamp this off a little bit. The amount of ink left on stamps is incredible. Okay, pop the lid on there. And I think I've finished with that for the time being. Anyway, probably could do with giving my hands a bit of a rub. Right, so that looks at, we've made our own paper. We've made, are we a long way away, or is that about as close as we can get probably?
It's probably about 7,000 miles, I would think.
We'll
get closer if you want closer.
I don't know, can we get closer? Maybe a little bit.
I mean, it's nearly filling the screen.
I know. Yeah, that's grand. So on this one, the next thing that I did was sort out the vellum behind here. This is vellum from the Tim Holtz Wallflower vellum pack. But I don't really like it because it went sort of buckly and it's just a bit too dark, really. And as I said before, this oval here, it's lost. You can't really see it. But I did cut out two of them. So this is the other oval. And you see when you put it on, it's not really jumping out. So I've cut one in green. Green is the colour that we're talking about. So, and I think that stands out. You know, it looks much better, I think. All things being told. And I've got this little girl who's also sitting. And she's going to go, just tuck her skirt in there. So she looks like she's sitting there. Like that. Yes, I like that. And behind there is the centre from this oval that I cut out, and I'm going to pop that in behind her because I just like it. I like the way it looks. So you can still see her clearly. You can see she's sitting on this darker green oval. Yeah, great. Let's stick that down. So the first thing I want to do really is stick the smaller oval in place. Now I want it. Oh, where do I want it? Oh, I want it to be fairly straight up and down. I'm not going to ink it because it's going inside this one. And I don't really want there to be a dark edge there. So I'm going to use my art glitter. Bobby's seen something by the sound of his growl, something on the moon. Oh, I don't know, it might be closer than that. Getting a bit more of a commentary. Right, let's see if we can get this straight. And where I want it, which is about there. So, does that look straight is the question. If I put that over it, I'll probably get more of an idea. Relatively. Yeah. Okay, I'm alright with that. Let's give that a good stick down. Where's my Timmy towel? There we go. Right, okay. This, however, I do want to give just a teeny bit of ink to, just to get rid of that white edge, because I don't want that showing around. Oh, put the lid on your glue.
Mira says you make things look so easy. Should have gone through about 10 options before ending up back where she first started.
Oh, but I did. That's the point of me making it in the morning. so I could actually do all the auditioning and all that bit, you know, where I usually go, should I do this? Should I do that? And it has literally, it's 4 o'clock, just gone 4 now in the afternoon with us. And it has taken me since 10 o'clock this morning to make this tag. Because I've done this and I've done that and, oh, I like that better. So I know, you know, it's not that I just pick things up and they magically fall into place. It has usually taken me hours to get to that stage. And I'll tell you what I'm finding with the Tim Holtz fabric. Oh, I've been getting headaches every day. And I'm pretty sure it's down to the pressure of should I cut the fabric or not. And I know that sounds ridiculously stupid, but it's true. Right, so that's going to go there. The only thing I need to remember is that little bit of her dress wants to get tucked in there. I think it looks better tucked in. Yeah, I do actually think it looks better tucked in. So, oh, Mr. F's just come through carrying 2 plums.
Would the ladies like to see my plums?
I don't think the ladies need to see your plums. Oh, he feels the need to show them anyway. Nice plums, Mr. F.
Thank you. They're nearly ripe.
Nearly ripe. Well, that, you know, when you get them and they say ripen at home, you're supposed to ripen them at home, not just eat them. You get a tummy ache. I don't know if that's true, actually. My mum used to always say that. You know, if you eat, I don't know, whatever it was, cooking apples, I think, you'll get a tummy ache. I think it's an old wives' tale. Has anybody else heard the thing about, I was saying this to Mr. F the other day, tuck your vest into your trousers or you'll get a chill on your kidneys? Anybody else ever heard of that? Or is it just, have I just made it up? No, I haven't made it up. It was said to me as a child. Oh dear. Come on, get in the right place. Right, so I want to get her tucked in there. Like that. Is that her halfway? Yeah, okay. Right, let's press that down then.
Young's never heard that one.
Oh, it's just dawned on me. I've stuck her in there and I haven't glued the rest of her. This is going to be mighty awkward. I might have to take her out. Oh, look, she's falling out anyway. Shiny plum?
Polished me plum. Makes a difference.
It's a pity the prompt wasn't plum or something, red colour for this week's prompt. You could have shown off your shiny plums instead of your broccoli.
It's true, but you have to go with the flow.
I could not believe it when I saw that on the group. That you'd put broccoli with ribbon for your tag. You are mad. Right, so I'm just going to tuck her in there. Just like that. Pull her down a little bit so she really is sitting on that oval. There we are. Happy with that. Oh, no, she's a bit on the conch.
Ros says yes, her mum used to say it to her.
Ah, right. I wonder if it's a Scottish thing then, Ros.
Well, of course, vest means something entirely different in America.
Oh, yeah, it does. That's true. Yeah, by vest, we mean like a T-shirt you'd wear under your shirt. Except it was a specific garment, a vest. And elder folks didn't take it off, come winter, come summer, come whatever. They just had lighter weight, heavier weight vests.
Anne said her mum used to say it to her.
Yeah, right.
So you're not alone in the Mad Club.
I'm not alone in the Mad Club. Right, so we've got the little girl on there. Got the oval around it, which is definitely standing out more than this one. So the next thing to do are the flowers. Now, I did feel that I really should do these because I'm always doing these on lives, and I guess you're a bit sick of it by now. But it all went into making this, so I'm going to do them. I'm going to do them. So I've got 3. I'll just get my messy note out, in case it all gets a bit messy. So I've got 3 flowers, stems with the leaves as well. Any flowers that you've got will do. I'm telling you, they really will. And I've got this, which is my smallest size oval that I've got in that set of nesting ovals. And I want it for this bit here, which I'm going to change as well. Yeah, so it's just to get on with the flowers now is the next thing. So I'm going to use my Zig Watercolor Pens. I know some of you have them now. And I'm using, for those of you that have got them, I'm using olive green for the leaves. One of the flowers is light brown, one is light violet, and the other is yellow green. Okay, so they're the colours I'm using. I'll do the leaves first and then I'll come back and do the... You probably can pull in quite a lot now, actually, if you don't mind.
To finish me plum later.
Yeah.
Bit more.
Bit more. Lovely, thank you. Right, so what I'm going to do is... I'm going to poke that bit out first. That didn't come out. That's it. I'm going to go down the stems.
Kerry wants to know if you remember Liberty Bosses.
I have heard of them. I've maybe even seen pictures, but no, I don't, to be honest. But certainly corsets, definitely. Although I never wore a corset, I'm not that old. Right, so I've done the stem, and now for the leaves, I'm just putting the colour up the centre and then along there and a little bit there. Get your water pen out. This is mixed media paper that I'm using. This technique doesn't work as well on ordinary paper. You'll be very lucky if you can draw the colour out, actually. So it's worth investing. This is just cheap mixed media paper.
Go back a bit because you're quite near the bottom of the page. Jenya says thank you for the pens.
You're welcome, Jenya. It's funny they arrived the same day as Keong's. So same here, right down the middle of it, and then a little bit on that side, a little bit here. Get your water pen and just draw that up. And it'll get lighter as it goes nearer the top, which gives the impression that we're after. So it's really, really not difficult. Go up the centre and then a little bit on the bottom, like that. Water pen and draw that colour out.
Kerry says it's similar to a vest but different, which is about as clear as mud.
Similar to a vest but different. Is it a sort of ladies' version then, or?
I don't know.
So I really like this colour of the Zig pen, this, what did I call it? Olive. Olive green, yeah. But I do love olive green anyway, so I'm bound to like it. But they're so easy to work with, these Zig pens. Of course you could watercolour these. That's all Zig pens are. They're just ready made up watercolour. So there's absolutely nothing stopping you watercolouring these. It's just, I've got Zig pens. I find them very, very useful for little jobs like this. So let's do all the leaves first. And you see you get quite nice shading on that. They look a bit more realistic. So I'm using the same colour throughout for all the flowers. You can, of course, chop and change your greens if you feel that you want to, make it a bit more interesting. I'm just using the same as I always do. So, start on this one, same thing. Same on every single one. This is why I thought you might not want to see this, because it is quite a lot of same. So yeah, the struggle with Tim Holtz fabric. I don't know if any of you have made an attempt to make a Tim Holtz fabric book. Oh my goodness, I wish you well. I really do. I am finding it a real struggle. But because I'm finding it a struggle, it's making me want to do it more, if that makes sense. I will not be beaten by the fabric.
Linda Park says she's got some Tombow markers that work in the similar manner.
Yes, that's right, they do. Yes. Oh, I'm not saying that Zig are the only ones by any stretch. It's just so happens that these are the ones I have to hand. I do have some Tombow actually somewhere. You could also use...
You could put it forward an inch, could you?
You could also use watercolour crayons. They would work perfectly. Inktense crayons, Derwent crayons, any Faber-Castell, whatever. Whatever you can get your hands on that does this sort of job that you're happy with, then just use it. Just this little bit here to do. There we are, so that's 2.
Oh, Dixie says she loves watching a pro work.
Oh dear.
A pro colour. It's beautiful, Miss P.
Oh, thank you, my love. That's very nice. I just think that I do this a lot, and I'm aware I do it a lot, but I do it a lot in my own stuff. And it's part of this green tag, so there you go. I'm going to make you suffer through it.
Janya says, show that fabric who rules.
Oh, Janya.
And Cynthia says hi.
Hiya, Cynthia. How are you? I hope you're doing all right.
And he says it's relaxing to see Miss P paint.
Thanks, Bernice. That's nice. If you can relax, that's nice. It's a good thing to do. So I was quite heartened, actually. The USPS people really got a wriggle on delivering those. I think it was 9 days from when we posted them to when Janya and Matty received theirs. And that was no special thing, not track, trace, signed for, nothing. Just regular Royal Mail and USPS, so I'm quite heartened by that. Because usually in my shop, when I sell things, I send them with UPS. Because, touch wood, they've never lost anything. And if it's a journal, can you imagine if they lost a journal? And they generally, things get there kind of 3 to 5 days, would you say, Mr. F? He's not saying anything.
What?
UPS, when we send things, it takes about 3 to 5 days, would you say?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're heartened by USPS, who managed to get things there in 9 days.
Yes, they did get from here to America in a day.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what they do with them once they get them to America. So last leaf. I did warn you this might be quite a long one. Putting quite a bit of paint on there because it's quite a big. So just go into your paint and then just drag it with your water brush. It's the easiest way using a water brush. You don't have to worry about, you know, is your paintbrush too dry or too wet or anything. There we are. I'm just going to put a little bit of dark under there because that's kind of in the shade.
Terry says she has watercolours, watercolour pens and watercolour pencils. She should be able to do this somehow.
You can do it, Terry. Honestly, what I've just done there, that's it. That's the extent of it. There's nothing more complicated than that about it. Right, so let's do this one in the yellow. And it's the same thing, same thing. Start off in the middle where it would be nearest to the stem and put all your paint down. Then I'm just going to clean that from the green. Then just drag it out a little bit and it'll get paler as it gets towards the tips. And that might not be what any given flower looks like, but it is the bit that looks best when you paint them. So just nearest where it would be growing from the stem.
And Tommy wants to know where you said you got the Zig pens.
We got them from a company in the UK called Graph City that deals mostly in sort of spray cans and stuff for kiddies. I'll say kiddies, you know, youngsters.
Graffiti artists,
yeah,
shall we say.
That sort of thing. Art students and the likes. But they had a sale on the Zig pens. So we bought a lot so we could spread the joy. And sent them to one or two people around the place. So it wasn't actually, in this case, the cost of the pens, it was the cost of the postage, which is why we decided just to send them ordinary USPS. And if they got lost, well, you know, so be it really. But they didn't. Although I do still think there's a couple out, isn't there, still to be delivered?
I think there's 2 more sets out there in the virtual world somewhere.
Well, I hope it's in the real world somewhere. Right, so that's my yellow one done. I'm just going to make it just a bit darker right in where it joins up. Just by adding that straight out of the pen into there. That's it. Right. This one, where's my lid for that? I'm going to make lilac, I think. And it's just the same. Put your big dollop of colour next to the stem. Don't go too far ahead because it'll sink into the paper and you won't be able to move it around. So put your pen into where that paint is and just draw it to the edges. Don't know where this is growing from. As long as you've got some dark and some shade on it, you'll be fine. It just needs another little drop of colour there. And we go down the stem. So I'm sure some of you are very adept at watercolouring and you're watching me doing this thinking, what is she doing? But this works for us. So I'm just going to go in again and just darken those centre bits up. That top one is a bit wishy-washy. And actually so is that one. I think my water pen is too wet.
I'll order some drier water next time.
No, I squeezed it a while ago and I think it's still coming out. Anyway, that's that one. So I've just got one to go. And that is the orange. And this is just a little one. So
June says she's been missing the lives. She can't be long today.
Well, it's nice to have you with us anyway, and I'm sorry you've been missing the lives. Because it's a really nice family atmosphere, I think. We all get together, we all have a chat. Mr. F tells me generally what you're on about, so I can sort of join in. There we go. Into the paint, spread it out, into the paint, spread it out. Yeah, I'm happy with that one. This one, however, I'm not so happy with. It's just gone a bit wishy-washy on me. So let's just give it another go. I don't want it mega bright, but I do want it to heart better. I do want it to have a colour, after all. I think this is better. I think it's time well spent. Yeah, so as I say, if I were you doing this, I would try and get your hands on some mixed media paper, or, you know, watercolour paper works even better.
Michelle says hi.
Hi, Michelle.
Fensky.
Hi, and Steve. That's not right, that's right. Right, so there's our flowers, nicely painted. There we have them. Put the lid on my, clean my water brush off, and put the lid on that. Oh, I wanted to do that as well while I've got the watercolours out. So I'm going to use the green, the same green as this, and it's not dissimilar to the green, the shady green, Shady Lane ink that I used there. So I'm just going to put this around the edge. Relatively quickly. It doesn't matter if it gets on the underneath, that's fine. And then I'm just going to try and pull that out. Now I haven't done this before, but I'm supposing that it works. So wash that out from the edge into the middle. And then it will match with everything. Let's get rid of that heavier band there. Your brush will work as a blotter. It'll blot things up. If you dry it on your towel and then go back, it'll blot up the colour that you may have dropped. You may not want it there, whatever, but it will work as that. So there we are. Right, we've got a little green taglet. A taglet. Right, I've finished messing around with that then now. So now comes the fun part. Now let's emboss them. Heat emboss them.
Shall it come out a little?
Yeah, come out a lot. Well, not a lot, but let's have a drink, shall we? Cheers. Can't beat a rum and coke in the afternoon. Oh dear. I have to say this because I'm so worried that somebody's just clicked onto this and they're watching me thinking, oh, why is she doing drinking rum and coke? It's not, there's no rum in it. It's just a silly joke. Just a silly, silly joke. Right, so where is my embossing? Here's the paper that I was using before. Sure, that's absolutely fine. Here's my embossing dauber. Let's get the embossing stuff out. So this is what I'm using, this Ranger Ultra Thick Embossing Powder Clear. And I tell you, you wouldn't mistake it for anything else because the particles in it are really big. So if you're doing anything fine, you know, a stamp or anything like that, I don't think I would really recommend this because the particles are so large. But for what we are doing, it's great. It's perfect. So let's get my tweezers to the ready, open the lid of this.
Deborah's just popping by to say hi.
Hiya Deborah, thanks for popping in. Nice to see you. Right, so I'm just going to daub over the entire flower. And
Jen says she loves the drunken crafter. And Janya says it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Absolutely. Just ask Alan Jackson. So I'm covering that up completely. And like I say, with the one that I did earlier, I did it and then I dipped it again and they became quite unwieldy. So I'm only going to do it the once this time.
Jen says, what about your beeswax embossing stuff?
Oh, I can't bring myself. It's another one of those things I can't bring myself to use. I am so pleased to have it. I'm so grateful to Peg for sending it to me. It was so thoughtful. And now I can't bring myself to use it.
Well, it doesn't really go with this one anyway, does it really?
Well, I haven't used it yet, so I can't. I know a lot of girls. Corey Darman, whatever her name is, she uses it all the time for this sort of thing, for colouring flowers. But, you know, I'm guessing that once she runs out, she can just go and buy some more. Well, it's not that easy for me, so I'm just going to hoard it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hoard it. For a while, anyway.
And Sharon says, if they can blindfold craft, why not drunken craft?
Blindfold craft, wow. That sounds quite dangerous, really, if you're using a scalpel or something, doesn't it? Don't you think? I mean, look at Shaz. She wasn't blindfold. She managed to do herself a mischief. Oh, I've dropped it. I wasn't watching, you see. I'll pop that over there. And this last one. Let's just put this back in the thing.
I'm not sure I'd want to do me enamelling blindfold.
Oh, no.
It's a bit warm.
Oh, no, you don't want to be doing that. I must say, for me, and probably, you know, maybe other people with asthma, I find this much less bother than the very fine stuff. That fine stuff, it kind of gets on my chest a bit, to be honest. There's no warning with it or anything, but I do feel it on my chest, almost like I need to be wearing a mask to be using it, which I know sounds a bit bad, but it's so fine, it just gets everywhere. And this stuff doesn't seem to at all, so I'll be...
Jen says most of her crafting looks like she's blindfolded.
Don't be ridiculous. Those Christmas cards you did were gorgeous. And your tag. Everybody's tag. It's like you've all gone up a level with your crafting. It's quite incredible. Some gorgeous work.
I think Jen sits there crafting with Mike behind her like in Ghost.
Yeah, on the potter's wheel. Was it potter's wheel? Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen Ghost. Furthermore, I haven't seen the lid of my embossing thing. Oh, I haven't finished yet. I haven't done this one. I still don't know where the lid is, though. Right, I'm just going to go over this with this. And get it ready to be embossed. Lovely. Great, so we're all sorted. Let's pop that in there. Away. Once it dries, all this comes off as well. Actually, it might come off now. Yeah. So there's no wastage. Let's just get it all, eh? It all costs money. It was £14 something, this pot. So I don't want to waste it. Right, there we go, there we go. Now let's find the lid for that. Let's put this away. I've sorted these two sets of drawers to my left, and so now things have a home. Where is the lid? Oh, here it is. It's black, it's not easy to see. Right, that's that. Okay, so now we need to heat emboss these. Let's get my gun on for a minute. Sorry about the noise. It's not actually that noisy, this one, is it?
Michelle says, does the beeswax embossing powder actually have beeswax in it, or is it just the colour?
It's the colour, I believe. I don't think it has beeswax in it. I think it's the same thing, plastic. You know, all embossing things are plastic. So let's see. Not quite warm enough yet. Feels pretty warm. Yeah, it's going. Oh, it never loses its charm, that, does it? Lovely. Yeah, because I've only put one layer on, I wouldn't say it was exactly smooth, although it's not bad, to be honest. Woo, come back. Oh, this one's alive. Alive, alive, oh. Yeah, I think it does take longer to go, and I'm guessing that's because the particles are bigger. But it all looks very nice. Nice and glossy. Lovely. Excellent. So I think, personally myself, that is worth the time that it takes to do it. And if you didn't think that, then I guess you've clicked off by now. So you won't hear me saying that, you know.
Jenya says she's going to be moving in a month.
Oh, really?
So she'll be spending the afternoon sorting through her craft stuff and all these books.
Oh, really? Are you moving within Florida? Or I think you're based up in Jersey, are you? I think. Your airline?
Oh, Dixie says, say Tennessee, Jenya. And Jen says, say Indiana.
Oh. Right, so what have we got and what are we doing? Okay, we're sticking our flowers on. Quite like this arrangement here with the yellow and the lilac. So let's pop that on, see what that looks like. I need to be mindful that I've got this little girl here and I don't want the leaves particularly to go over her. She's in a different position to where the boy was. And this one over the top of that. Like that, maybe.
So she's moving in with her sister about 20 minutes away.
Oh, right, so...
She really likes living in Florida.
Yeah, can't say as I blame you. And that one there, I think, or maybe up a little touch. Maybe we could get one with the bigger leaves over there. The reason that the boy didn't have the big leaves was because he was sat further over here. And that's not going to work either because that's going to cover her. What about the purple one? Yeah, I think that goes really nicely there. I like that. Then we've got this one, which we know fits just about there. And then the orange one. Like that. What do we think? No, I still like it the way we had it. You see, it's not just you guys that go, you know, do it like this, do it like that. Anybody that knows me, that's watched one of my lives before, knows that this is what goes on. That's going to go there, like that. And then we're going to have one of the cork chips at the bottom. It's coming together all right, actually. Right, now then, the sticking on of the die cuts.
Virginia says she'll be in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, lovely. I like Fort Lauderdale. I've happy memories of Fort Lauderdale. And particularly a breakfast that I used to have there that was like a massive salad. I don't know what, I think they called it a chef's salad or something, but it was just every salad vegetable you could think of, along with every fruit you could think of, in a bowl. It was delicious.
And Kyung says she looks great with those flowers.
Thanks, Kyung. I did send Kyung some of the watercolour pens as well, and I had sent her some previously, and I think she's got, I think you've got not far off a full set now, Kyung, to be honest. Right, so that's going to go there, there, there. That's where it's going, exactly there. Get my Timmy towel out and squash that down.
Michelle would like to know which dye are you using?
I knew somebody was going to ask this, and I knew I didn't know the answer. Could you? It's in the top drawer there, please.
And Sarah says, have you been to the States?
Yeah, I have a couple of times actually. I've been down the Keys, I've been to Manhattan, I've been to Boston. Nowhere inland or over on the western side though at all, I'm afraid. It's like 3 flowers that are there it is. Yeah. So. This is the dye, and I'm almost certain it came from my good friend Ali. So that's it, the 3 flowers are joined together, which makes cutting them so much easier. So yeah, that's it. Sorry I can't help further on that one. It was one of those times where I just went on Ali and thought, oh, quite like that, quite like that. In the days when Ali was really cheap. And actually, Ali is no longer really cheap. You know, owing to the unmentionable problem and, you know, just things generally going up. Ali isn't... I used to could go on Ali and just say, oh, I wonder what that's like, I'll order it. I wonder what that's like. It's not like that anymore. You have to really consider what you're buying, I think. So the fun's gone out of it. So I haven't been window shopping on Ali for a good few months now.
Oh, Dixie said, did your salads have broccoli in them?
Haha, no, they did not. Nope, they did not. That's one veg that wasn't in them. I do like broccoli and cauliflower. I like cauliflower raw. I don't know about broccoli raw. I don't think. No, don't think so. So I'm just going to bring that up over there. So we've got 2 of these nice flowers on top of each other. And as I say, getting them to stick on top of each other, I don't know, I think you've just got to apply pressure. And it is easier if you put your Timmy towel over it, because you can really push on it, whereas you couldn't put that amount of pressure onto the die cuts without causing them some damage, I don't think. So yeah, I'm happy with that. What do you think? Yeah, that's all right, I think.
Mike said he was sorry to hear that Janu was moving in winter. He hopes she has a mild day. Till Jen pointed out that she lives in Florida.
Yeah. Mild day.
Yeah, I don't think she'll be going through the snow.
The downside of Florida, though, and it is a big one, is the snakes. The alligators, yeah, all right, but you can see them. Although I did have a nasty experience with an alligator. But, you know, I'm here, it didn't kill me. But snakes, no. There's so many of them because we have... I know... Get that book. It's down there, isn't it? Under my Lazy Susan. So I've been swatting up on my fauna and flora of Florida. I can't do anything with it at the moment. And yeah, I mean, I knew there was quite a lot of snakes. And in the Everglades, I mean, who would go to the Everglades? Well, me, for one. But let's just get this stuck on. I want it quite high up. About there, I'd say. Lovely. Yes, this book, I've shown you it before, The Nature of Florida, right? And there's just snakes. There are so many snakes. I mean, it's pretty flowers, I'll give you that. But fish, yeah, loads of fish. Eels, snakes. A pig frog, really? Yeah, poisonous snakes. I can barely touch the page, actually, that they're on. Eastern coral snake, cottonmouth, dusky pygmy rattlesnake, eastern diamondback. No, I don't like them. And then if you get into the non-poisonous snakes, there's more again. I can't be doing with it. I'd be so afraid that they'd get into my house when I wasn't looking. Right, there we are. We've got our flowers on. All's looking quite well, I think. Do you think? Now then, that's going to go along the top there. It's a little sort of plaque. And I want to stamp it with stays on because obviously now I should have stamped it before I embossed it, but I only remembered halfway through putting this stuff on. So I've got this little stamp here.
Mike says, okay, do tell your alligator story.
Oh, my alligator story, all right. Hang on till I do this.
You're blaming me.
I can't tell. And
is that a Mr. F story?
No.
Definitely not.
No. It's pre. I can't speak at the minute. Oh no, I think I've slid it around the place. Oh no. Oh no, it's all right, it's all right, it's all right. Yeah, I was driving from, I don't know, from the Keys up, I think, up the western coast. No, that's not true. Up the coast of Florida, and I saw this sign that said Alligator Alley. And I thought it sounded quite exciting, really. As you would, coming from England, you don't see that many alligators, really. So I thought, oh, I'll go down there, which I did. And it did have signs along the road, like we would have crossings for elderly people or school children, and it had signs, alligators crossing. But for some reason it didn't kind of, I don't know, I just thought it was good. Anyway, we came to this place, and I wish I could remember what it was called. It wasn't a village, it wasn't even a hamlet, it was just like a sort of food shack on the side of the road. Stopped there and got chatting with the guy, and he said, oh, well, I'm going out. He was like a park ranger, but for the Everglades. He said, I'm going out soon, you can come with me if you want to. So as we were walking from his place to where he tied up his airboat, is that what you call them with the big things, airboat, he said, now, you know, be sensible. If you see snakes, the best thing to do is leave them alone. You know, they won't harm you generally. Just leave them alone. But if you see a blue racer, do not try to outrun it. And I said, if I see a blue racer, I definitely won't try to outrun it because I'll have had a heart attack. Fine. And the other thing he said was, don't try and feed the alligators, because if you feed them, they'll follow you and they'll try to get to you because they think you've got more food. They're not actually after you. They're not that stupid to take on a human being, but they will think you've got food. And apparently, in the recent past, some lady had done just that and had managed to get a little dog that she had and had that for supper. So, yeah, fine, I'll do exactly what you say. So I was walking to get into the boat, and there was like a fence post and just one piece of wire along the top of the fence post, just loosely put in. And I looked and I thought, oh, yeah, there's a statue of an alligator. It's a bit more touristy than I thought it was. And I sort of took a step towards it and it let out this almighty hiss. It was not a statue, it was a real, live, gigantic alligator. Anyway, I don't know where I got my bravery from. I just got on the airboat and off we went. So, yeah, I've had, I can't remember the words now. I have met up with an alligator. Close encounter, but I'm still here to tell the tale. And I still don't dislike alligators particularly. I mean, I wouldn't want one in my living room, but... they're all right. Right, that should have dried now during the telling of that story, which probably wasn't that interesting in the first place. I've got somewhere some brads. Oh, what on earth have I done with them? Okay, well, while I'm looking for those, I will show you my... No, I won't. Let's find the brads. Let's find the brads because it's going to annoy me. Here they are. They're under my stamp. Now, these brads, you folks in the UK might be interested in. They're a brand called Artemio. A-R-T-E-M-I-O. I'm not sure if they're in the States. I haven't looked on Amazon States. But these are... There's 4 different colours. All the sort of grungy colours that you'd want. And the bigger ones have got either crosses on or a slit on, like a screw top. These wee ones here, they are just plain domed. But they were £4 something, and you get 140 pieces. Now, they are much cheaper than other brands that I may have bought. And so I wanted to bring it to your attention that if you're into that sort of thing and you like grungy stuff and screw heads and whatever, I thought these would just be fragile, they wouldn't be any good, but I've used them, they're great, and so I've got no problem recommending them to you. And as I say, you get 140, so come on. That's all right, isn't it?
That's busy. Glad you made it out okay. Thank you. So that's so awesome, Miss P. Sharon loves Miss P story time. And so does Mike.
Oh, glory.
And so does Jan, yeah.
Right, so I'm just going to use the plain domed ones.
Joined us.
Hiya, Flo. Did you bring cake? And happy birthday for the other day. I hope you had a lovely, lovely day. Hope all your family got together and you had a nice time. One. I don't think I need the large screw heads. These little ones will do, because the large screw heads are actually really quite large. See, if I put that there, it'd be too big, be silly. That would just be silly. So yeah, I think before they change their mind, I put them up. But the address on the back is Belgium, so I'm not sure if they are available around the world. Right, now...
Flo says lemon ricotta waffles.
Yes. Right, I'm off. I'm going to the naughty step. You won't see this anymore. It's gone. Bye. Oh no, better finish the live first. Right, so I need to work out where to put the hole for these. I'm going to try and get it there. I can't find my pokey tool, so I'm using my tweezers. And then the other one similarly. And get these in here. This is when having nails is an absolute total curse. Metal work and me, we don't seem to get on that well. There we go, there's one now. I quite like the fact that this is watercoloured around it. It just, I don't know, kind of looks a bit more aged or something, but yet it still goes with the green. Oh, come on.
Jen says she's knocking folks down on the way to the naughty step. Get out the way.
You'll be lucky to knock me down. I'm fairly substantial. I'm of sturdy build.
And Corrine Pert says, I love coming right in the middle of a chuckle. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Corrine. Nice to have you with us.
And Mike says, Jen, you've just had breakfast.
Since when? Since when does that stop anybody wanting something sweet? Don't understand that. Mike, could you just flatten those with your big fat Mr. F fingers? Thank you. And I'll just have a drink. Lovely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right, I could have put this all the way through onto here, you know, out the back, but I think it lies flatter if you just do it like that and then glue that on. That is my experience. So let's get that glued on. It's amazing what you learn, isn't it, as you go through life, and I'm talking now about junk journals here. Because, yeah, you learn loads about other things as well. If only you had that knowledge when you were younger. What a shame. Right, let's try and get this square then. The significance of the number 48 is 0. There is no significance at all. I don't know, does that look straight? Let's have a look. Oh, it's cockeyed. It's too far over that way. Come off, come off. Oh, I think it's stuck. I think, oh no, hang on. If I drag it, it might be all right. Yeah, I think that's okay.
Young says, me too, Miss P. I love a bit of something sweet out with a coffee after a meal.
Absolutely. Even Mr. F brings sweet things after a meal.
That should come as no surprise.
Right, so that's nice, I think. Yep, okay. So the only other thing we've got to do is put a quote chip on it, do the back as well and whatever.
And Jen says, what, no ribbon?
Well, I haven't put any ribbon. No, I haven't actually. I quite like it with no ribbon. I might, I'll see. Right, so I want a quote chip that's going to go on here. That's a bit long. These are thick and they seldom get used in junk journals. My junk journals, because they are so thick and they make your book bulky. But this is a tag book and it doesn't matter what it has on it. You can do what you want. Oh, one of a kind. That's nice, isn't it? One of a kind. I like that. Creativity takes courage, follow your heart, create art, not that page, embrace the journey, find joy in the ordinary, genuine, etc. Listen to your heart, love this life, lost, found, that's handy, relic, condemned, oh no, documented, I thought it was the condemned one, dreamer of dreams, I like that one, be true, shine brightly. That's nice for that little girl, isn't it? Shine brightly. Let's have shine brightly. I need to put these into a little box. I was showing you my box of my new boxes. I'll show it to you. Might need to come out rather a lot, Mr. F. I'm getting my box out.
Sharon says, we haven't seen snack of the day in a while.
Oh, well, there was plums today, but I think that was largely for the innuendos. I've knocked that on the floor.
No, I polished them and ate them.
Can you draw out a little bit, please? So that I can show folks my lovely storage box. They might have already seen it, I can't remember. Right, there we go. So it's all these lovely... I should just at this stage say, hi, my name is Fiona and I'm addicted to plastic storage. I really am. I can't get past it in shops. I just love it. But anyway, Mr. F bought me these himself. So it's got that which unlocks the top. Top comes off. Ooh, I don't want to bang the microphone there. And got all these boxes in here. Look. Look at them all. Washi, butterflies, metal bits. That's a good one, that box. With all the... I don't even know what you call these things from Tim Holtz. But they're really nice. Own your dreams. And little safety pins. Look. Brads. Little charms. All sorts of gorgeousness in there. And that's just one drawer. So yeah, tickets, snippets, my stamping blocks, tiny snippets, tags, label tape. I must say I do like this stuff. This is becoming a... Yeah?
Oh, Dixie's got a request.
Yeah?
Her husband's just come into the room.
Hello. Oh no, he's not called Steve. Dennis, sorry.
He loves when Miss P says, "Don't be a Charlie." Please find a reason to say it to him. His name is Dennis.
Okay. Well, I will give you a... I'll just say first, I really like this Tim Holtz label tape. It's very sticky on the back. And I don't know, it just lends itself to many projects. So those are my... I've got 2 of these, incidentally. And the other one at the moment is pristine. Now these blocks, these stamping blocks, they're new. I treated myself to them because my other one that I had was horrible. And I put them all in here, and I remember saying to Mr. F, "Do you think they'll all fit in?" And he said, "Yeah, go for it." And they did, they all fitted in. So put them in there. Mr. F made me a label that said blocks. And then the other day I was looking for a block, and I said to Mr. F, "This is ridiculous. I've just bought a new set." And he said, "You put them in the box named blocks." I said, "Don't be a Charlie." Of course I did. So, yeah, I was on that occasion a real Charlie. It's not the only time I'm a Charlie. There's another block there, you see. If I don't put that away, it's going to get lost, isn't it? Anyway.
Mike said he thought Jen was the only person addicted to plastic containers.
Oh, aren't they great, Jen?
And Janya loves plastic containers too.
Oh, they're just fabulous. I love them. Right, so where were we up to? Does anybody remember? Let's prepare this for the for being stuck on.
Kerry Roberts says they're similar to Dymo.
Yeah.
Tim Holtz things.
Yeah, they are. And furthermore, did you know that there is a font that you can get to put on your computer called, what's it called? I can't remember.
Impact Label.
Impact Label. And if you do that and type out your word, it comes out exactly like Dymo tape. Impact Label. It's worth having a look at that. Right, what I'm doing is I'm going around the edge to knock off that finish that's on it. I'm doing it with my nail file. And I'm not being too choosy. I don't care if a lot comes off or a little comes off. That's not true. I would rather more came off than less. That's grand. And what I'm going to do is get my little brush, and I'm using old paper because it's the green. My bundled sage has died. It is now officially dead. And this is the nearest one to it, so I'm just going to ink the label round the edges and a little bit over the top, just so it doesn't just look like everybody else's quote chips. Really, we're just making it our own. So there, you might not think it's worth the effort. I think it's worth the effort.
Sarah says it's cute that your washi tapes fit in that thing. She thinks she's developed a washi tape problem. Can
I just say? They don't. I have these additional ones. Oh yeah, plastic, washi tape, all sorts of things. Right, so that will go there. Now with the other one that I did, you might have noticed that I, not this one, the blue fella, wherever he's gone now, who knows. I did put some twine around it, and I actually quite like that. So if I can find the twine, I'll do it. Yeah, here it is. This is really fine twine. It's perfect for this. And I'm just going to put it between the words. So I'm going to put a little bit of art glitter on the back. I'm going to get my things out. Where's the middle there? So a bit of art glitter. It's things like this, I think, that they just add interest and they look like you've tried really hard to make something nice. So just wind that. I find that 4 is enough. That's just not working. 4 times round is generally enough. So 1, 2. The thickness of your twine, of course, will be different, so you can make your own mind up how many times round you want to go. Cool, struggle to get that out. So a bit of art glitter on the back, just to hold that in place. Like that there. And let's cut that off and then clip it while it dries. There we go, and that'll dry. It doesn't take long. I mean, it's art glitter, it's, you know, doesn't take long at all. But I do like that very thin twine for that purpose, and I think it adds something just for the couple of seconds that it took to do it. Right, so the thing is now we need to stick this onto our base. So let's just check that it's going to look something like right. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to ink around the edges just in case it's not quite right. And the other thing I'm going to do is ink down here as well. Now, I'm going to use what do you call this? Vintage photo. I've lost the ability to speak, I think. I don't know why. So I'm just going to go around the edges with that just in case it shows up. And I'm not doing that whole strip. I like the idea of it sort of fading away. Just right round it. And I'll do the back as well while I'm on the subject. It won't be seen, so don't worry about it being, you know, neat or anything like that. Grand, and then we'll do the other. Ooh, look at all the mess on there. Disgusting. Look at that down there. I'm going to have to put a stamp or something down there, I think, to hide my messiness.
Janya says it's coffee time.
Yeah, coffee time. I don't think we're 100 miles off being finished, but definitely time for coffee, yeah. And some of Flo's lemon ricotta waffles, yeah. Right, so this is going to go onto here. I'm just going to stick it on. Doesn't it look nice when that's been distressed? It looks just so much nicer. So as you can see, all this does take quite a long time, even when you've got everything out around you that you need, which, believe it or not, I did. I mean, you know, it might have got lost on my desk, but it was around me. So if you were making tags like this for every pocket in your journal, my goodness me, it would take a long time. But wow, wouldn't it be fancy?
Nancy O'Rourke says hi.
Hi Nancy, how you doing? Right, let's get this on here. Let's get this bottom corner on first, and then this one.
When you've done that, could you just explain for Jen the making of the tag base again?
Yes, I will.
With the dimensions and the folding over of the edge and stuff.
I most certainly will. Right, so I'm just pressing that down round the edge. That's collall, so
you know I have to go at the pace of the slowest pupil.
I didn't explain it very well. Excuse me. Sorry guys, excuse me.
Tony says she's not allowed to shop at Michael's, Joann's or Hobby Lobby. She gets into trouble.
Oh no. Right, so apart from putting a stamp or something down there, I'm not sure what, but I'm quite happy with that. Let's turn over to the back. And we're going to put this, which is another sheet from the heirloom pack. And once again, I'm going to draw around it. It would be so much easier to cut it, but use the trimmer, but I'm not.
Tommy says last time she went to Hobby Lobby, she spent $400. So she's grounded herself.
Oh my goodness! I've come over all unnecessary. Oh my goodness, $400. Now that is a lot of money on craft stuff. I'm not saying I don't spend that over a period of time, but not in one go. Although I must say, when I bought the Tim Holtz fabric, I did think I was being very decadent. It's got a drawer all of its own. Right beside me, right here. So if this isn't quite right, we can trim a little bit off. It's probably a tad bigger than it needs to be because I've drawn around the outside. So it's probably slightly big, but we can rectify that. Okay, I'm finished with that. So I just need to ink. Oh, there's a bit prim putting my blue board away. Just ink around that a little bit. And this is the perfect stuff, isn't it, for the back of a tag? You can really write on it. Yeah, of course, when you do your, assuming you are going to make a little book to put your tags in, your weekly tags, you don't have to do it this size. This is quite a large size for a tag in anybody's language. Because I'd done the blue tag in the TN size, I just liked it. I thought it looked nice. So there we are, that's that. Let's get this stuck down onto the back. This one. I don't know what I'm going to do with my surplus tag that's, I don't know.
Jen says sale, the word gets you every time.
I know, it's true. I'll tell you, if ever once we had a sale on Tim Holtz stuff in this country, I definitely would be bankrupt, because his stuff is always at a premium and more. It's really expensive. And I want one of the memoranda pads, and they are I don't believe there is one in the country anywhere. I have scoured and scoured and I cannot find it. Even at some inflated price, I can't find it.
Jen says sales and those YouTubers that keep showing you new fun stuff and get us all into trouble.
Who could they be?
I don't know.
Right, so this is just going to butt up to there. Like that.
Judy says whenever she logs onto Amazon she is cheering.
Hiya Judy, I don't think I said hello to you earlier. Maybe you snuck on. Nice to see you.
And Jen says agreed, Jen, not mention any names, just look at your screens everyone. Laughing face.
I don't do it deliberately. I don't, I'm not on commission from these people.
And Witeeza says absolutely beautiful, love it. I'm looking forward to create one. Love your art, you inspired me. Thank you so much.
Oh, now isn't that nice? That's a nice comment. Janya, that's a nice comment. Right, so the back paper that I put down is, as I predicted, just a little bit fat. fat, big. So I'm just...
Nancy O'Rourke says she tends to hoard whatever she's purchased as she can't bear to part with it.
That's the truth, isn't it?
And Karen says at Hobby Lobby every few weeks is 40% off for Tim Holtz.
Oh no, I find that heartbreaking. I need to get to America. Right, is that okay? A little bit maybe down there.
And Tommy says yes, that's why she doesn't go anymore.
Oh, 40% off. I mean, we pay absolute top whack for anything, Tim Holtz. Right, so does that look... No, I just need this on now, don't I? And that's stuck beautifully. And I'm going to pop that there, shine brightly.
And Jen said, somebody said there was a pattern to the sales at Hobby Lobby. Has anybody else heard that?
Yeah, they put a sale up, everybody buys it.
And Mike says, yes, Fiona and her sidekick Justin are pretty awesome.
Oh, Mike.
See, he's nice as well, isn't he?
He's nice as well. We'll keep him.
Yes. You're taking notes, Jan, yeah?
Right, so I'm just going to pop this down here. And then I believe that's our tag done. I'm going to clip it because it's very thick and it's got that twine in the middle that's trying to lift it up off the tag. So I'm just going to clip it for the moment while I go through how you actually make the doodah. Right.
And Lovely's Crafting Lodge says, thanks for being here today. You need a pal to craft with.
Oh, lovely. Where did I see you the other day? I was watching a live and somebody said, hello, Lovely's Crafting Lodge, but I can't remember where it was now. And I thought, oh, lovely, hello. Right, I don't need this. So let's put this away. So you need a piece of cream. Well, you don't need cream necessarily. I've used cream. And I can't remember where I put it away to now.
Is this making a base we're doing?
Yeah, this is making a base.
Excellent.
Well, look, I can't find the cream, so I'll do it in green. Okay?
You shouldn't have nothing afterwards, are you?
Yeah, no, before I do that, I'll show you this. This is the little booklet that I have finished. It's the one I was doing using the Edith and Timmy. Let me tell you, I don't think they're the happiest of bedfellows. I found them quite difficult to work with. They were trying to boss each other around. Anyway, that's the front cover. Edith's irises there. Lovely, lovely doily. A journaling card there in the front. It's got a little key to open your journal, and it opens like that. This pocket here, which I do quite like. I'm very partial to red with Tim Holtz stuff, and I've no idea why that is. It just seems to sing. Then there's a journaling card in there with a really gorgeous... It's part of that bracelet that I showed you. It's really lovely. That fits into there. Lovely little charm down here. And then this has got two hearts hanging here. One's on chain, one's just into, so they hang at different lengths. That pops out. It's just a little collage there. It folds open, and we've got this butterfly stamp here. It's all sewn around, and 4 of those brads in the corners, a little tag there, and then this is a pocket. But before we get into that, let's have a look. It's got a tag with a little press stud on, but it doesn't press onto anything, it's just red. Edith's chaffinch with some hand sewn cross stitch, a little tag down there, that's that label tape I was telling you about. Tim Holtz paper on the back. Then here, this is kind of like a belly band really, in as much as that's it there, and it's got, you know, tone photograph there, some red fabric behind it, some flips, bit of tatting along here, and that comes out like that. It's got just a bit of a collage on the back, and that goes in there. And then in the pocket, which is all padded and it's gorgeous, we've just got a journaling card, and it's the little girl leaning up against this with the 2 red mushrooms. And I'm also going to put in this one, which has got a paper clip on the side and a little heart, and it's very similar to another one in the book, but to be honest, it's not going to go anywhere else, so it's going to go in that pocket with them. So there's 2 nice cards in there, and that just flips over, and the weight of that kind of keeps it closed if you push them in far enough. And that's the back of the pocket, and that's that other card similar to the one I've just shown you. It's got a little globe here, safety pin, some red fabric on the top. I really like this one. I adore this fabric, adore it. Edith's Poppies, a butterfly there, the name of it sewn on, and this is the back of the flip that comes over there, so that lives in there. And then this is the back, and that's the pocket. It's got all sorts of things sewn onto it, a label from the Field Notes kit, and this, which is the Edith Buttercups, with some more of that doily then, aren't they? They marry so well. Tim Holtz stamps and some journaling on the back. And then the very back is the foxgloves, Edith foxgloves. More of that doily. This is Edith fabric actually down there, and that's Timmy fabric, and a little card in there with a little flower on it, a little pink flower. So that's that. I have finished that. That was, it was so hard to do. I really found that difficult. But onwards and upwards. I'm not giving in to the fact that I find it difficult to cut the fabric, but I am, however, not going to combine Edith and Timmy again. I found that an added difficulty, to be honest. I like it now it's done. I love that, and I love this doily with it. It's gorgeous. I really like that. So yeah, at some stage that'll be in my Etsy shop.
Judy loves the red.
Yeah, I like the red, Judy. It
She
just
loves the way the mix of Timmy and Edith came out.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Thank
Nikki
you.
says, wow. Judy off says, wow, look at all that red with the both spotties and stripes.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to look online and see if I can find a fat quarter of that spotty or stripes, because I only had a charm pack with it in. That's 5 by 5 inches. So, yeah. What was I doing here? Does anybody know?
You were making the base.
Making the base, yes. Thanks, Mr. F. Right. So what you do is you want this bit here to be 4 1/4. So let's get the ruler out. So that's 4 1/4 there. Then you want this bit to be 3/4 of an inch, but it folds back on itself. So 2 times 3/4 of an inch is 1.5 inches. So let's add that on. So where were we? 4 1/4. Add 3/4 for one way. Add 3/4 for the other. And you get to 5 3/4. Mine isn't square, which isn't helping much. So I'm just going to cut mine off there. So it's 5 1/4. You need to cut it at 5 1/4. No, mine isn't square on the end for some reason. So that's just. So I just need to square this end up. It wasn't square. So 5 1/4. Cut yourself a piece out that is 5 1/4.
No, 5 3/4 you want.
Oh yeah, 5 3/4. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4 is the size of your tag. Then 3/4 of an inch takes you to 5. Then 3/4 for the return of that brings you to 5 3/4. Okay, 5 3/4. Get your notebooks out. I wasn't being facetious there. It's sometimes a good idea just to make a little note. Right, so get your scoreboard out. Oh no, you need it to be 8 inches tall. You can make it any height you want, any height at all, but proper TN size is 8 by 4 1/4. So that's what I'm doing mine at, 8 by 4 1/4. So I'm just, for A4 size, it is literally just 1/4 of an inch that comes off. I think for you guys in the US, it's probably 1/2 inch that you take off, because I think yours is 8 1/2, isn't it? Right, so we now have this piece that's 5 3/4 by 8. 5 3/4 by 8. So get your scoreboard out and score at 3/4 of an inch.
Everybody loves your journal.
Oh, I'm pleased.
And Janya loves everything you do.
Janya, you're so sweet.
And our Dixie says the same. She's a Miss P groupies.
You guys are just so nice. Okay, so I'm sure I've told you this before, but it's worth repeating. This is the side we've scored on. So this is the side that there's a little dent on from where we made our tool. And on this side, you can see there's a little ridge, a little bump. So you always want to fold so as the bumpy bit ends up inside, like that, okay? And if you start off in the middle, you generally get a better fold. So just don't go mad the first time, gently fold it over, because some cards are prone to cracking. But if you do all that, fold it the right way, just press it over gently to start with, then if it still cracks, there isn't much you can do about it. So that's folded in. So we've got 3/4 of an inch folded in there now. So let's just stick that down and then it won't bother us again. Don't let me go without telling you the prompt for next week. The tag prompt.
Mike says yes, we're writing it down in the notebook.
I didn't mean to be, as I say, facetious. It's just I watch things and I think, yeah, of course I remember that. Do
Carrie
I?
says she never thought at her age she'd be a groupie, but she sure is.
Oh, Carrie. Carrie is so sweet. Right, so there we are. We've got that folded down. So now we've got this ridge here, and we've got 4 1/4 inches from that ridge across to here. Okay, so now we need to just cut in our tag shape. Now this is, as you know, my old driver's license. You could use a store card, anything. Preferably not something that you are still using, because just don't, okay? And you just line that up with the edges and cut it off at whatever angle pleases you.
Jen says she likes the idea of having these to grab quickly for the challenge. She was thinking of you, Mike.
And this one, you want to snuggle your card up against this ridge that you've made from folding it over. And that way then you'll get it straight, and get it straight on the top. And you can draw this if you want. It is actually, I think, a little bit more helpful to draw this one in. So just draw that in. Well, yeah, with a pencil it works. Draw that in, and that's where that's the end of it there. So take your scissors, follow the inside of your line, if you know what I mean, down to where that mark is, and then just cut straight across to the edge. Yeah, I'm making a meal out of it. It's not this difficult. There we go. So that's our 2 corners off. We've put the 2 corners in. We've got a ridge here that is useful for when you're putting your papers down, because you can line it up against there. It makes it easier. And then putting the holes in is just, well, I just use guesswork really a bit. Because this is 3/4 of an inch, I drew a line up that was half of that, so as my holes would be kind of in the middle. So half of 3/4, 3/4 is 6/8, so half of that is 3/8. So I drew a line at 3/8 up on that bit that we folded over, like that, just in light pencil. And then I just use my board, but a ruler, anything you like, and I put it on 1 inch, and I went up 1.25 inches, and I made a little mark on my line that I've just drawn, and then I put that there and went the other way 1.25 inches, put a little mark on my line. There we go. And then I got my crocodile and put the holes in.
I mean, if you're going to put in a ring binder of yours, you can just use a 2-hole punch.
Yeah, absolutely. You could use an ordinary desk punch, you know, that you would. This is a bit difficult because I can't, the light's a bit odd. So that one. So there is no, I haven't used a specific space between them or anything. I just used 1.25 inches down from the top and up from the bottom, and then just erase that line that you put in as your guide.
Oh, Bixie says you're the best teacher, Miss P. And
Thank
Nancy O'Rourke says this is just a nice start to the day in the US.
Oh,
Coffee and Mr. F and Miss P. Thank you for your kind and thorough instructions so we can create what we're watching as well.
Well, I'd like to think that you can, because actually I think it would make a great thing to have in your hands. These tags that we're going to be making every week, and we're going to have them in like a tag book. It's really good. So, but as I say, you really don't need to make it that size. This is Traveller's Notebook size. I think it's a... Take the clips off this little lady now. I think it's a nice size. It's big enough to be able to do something on, you know. And there's no, the other thing is, there's no saying that they all have to be the same size either. As long as you've got, you know, you could make it that size if you wanted to, you know. So there's a bit of flexibility around. If you put 3 holes in, you could make one that size. There's lots of variations that you could do, but this is what I'm sticking with for the time being anyway. And here is my offering to you today.
Jen says, thank you very much for going over the tag base. Oh, Dixie says, thanks for doing all the maths for us, Miss P. And Jania says, thank God you're good with measurements, Miss P. Hello, I'm certainly not.
Well, yeah, thank you.
And
Thanks
Tommy
for
says she can measure she eyeballs a lot.
my eyeballs. I've got a thing called astigmatism, actually, in my eyes, which means that my eyeballs are more rugby ball shaped than football shaped. So I actually haven't got a straight eye in my head. Anyway, so that's the base. So you've got the hang of that. You've got the gist of that, I hope. If anybody has any questions, ask me on the group. I'm only too happy to help. This is today's. It's our first one. I'm just going to write on the back... January, no, what date is it? 23rd. Oh, that's pencil, that's no good, is it? I've got a green pen. How good is that? 23rd Jan 22. Okay, so there's no ambiguity now. We knew when we did that one. So I hope you like it. There we have her. The little flowers, I appreciate you're not getting the full value out of those because oh, there you go, you can see how shiny they are. And the lovely little Tim Holtz girl, she's so beautiful. And this shine brightly with the twine around it. So that's just some ideas for you, you know, to put together and whatever. Right, the prompt for this coming week. Well, seeing as we've all found a colour quite easy, it's a relatively easy one, you know, it's not like stenciling or stamping or something that might limit us. I'm going to go for another colour, and I'm going for purple. Now, that can be lilac, even through to aubergine I would let get away. Purple. So crack on. Your tag for the week is... based on the tag prompt purple, and I cannot wait to see what you do with it. You guys, honestly, you've really kept us on our toes this week, and we've loved it. We've loved seeing what you made. So thanks so much for bearing with me for almost 2 hours, actually. Are we all right? Any questions need answering?
No, everybody's most grateful. The photograph on the
Thank you,
closing
Lorna.
screen today is especially for Janya.
Oh yes, the photograph is for Janya, but Shazza is, well, if Shazza's still here, you can share it.
Yeah.
Right, there we go. Flo's still with us. I see, that's great. Yeah, Mike, I think it will be fun. You know, no pressure. And if one week you don't want to do it, I mean, what the heck? The tag police aren't coming round. I don't think so, anyway. So take care. As always, be kind, and be kind to yourselves as well. And I hope that, well, I hope that everybody is okay. And look after yourselves. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.
Bye everyone. Take care. Be safe. Be happy. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.